Virtus Pro's turn to pick. Dire team pick.
Slada.
Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Virtus Pro's turn to pick.
Phantom Assassin.
Dire team banned.
Faceless Void.
Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Virtus Pro's turn to ban. Ten seconds remaining. Dire team ban. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Virtus Pro's turn to ban. Ten seconds remaining. Dire team ban. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Virtus Pro's turn to ban. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Virtus Pro's turn to pick. Dire team pick.
Crystal Maiden.
Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Virtus Pro's turn to pick.
Tide Hunter.
Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Dire team pick.
Wind Ranger at your service.
Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Dire team ban.
Earth Spirit.
Ten seconds remaining. Virtus Pro's turn to ban. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Dire team ban. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Virtus Pro's turn to ban. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Dire team pick. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Virtus Pro's turn to pick. 10 seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Choose your hero. 10 seconds remaining.
Total Spanish.
Thank you, Zai. I don't know why it's using this webcam. Let's just pretend this isn't happening right now. For just those that don't know, because it's very important information, as we have a pause here, so it doesn't really matter what we talk about. My power went out literally 2 minutes before the game started, and for whatever reason, a Windows update automatically activated upon restarting the computer, of course. And now it's using the backup cam that I use for only our private streams with Cinderin. So really apologize for the horrible colors, the horrible angle that makes me look very thin. Cinderin, how are you doing?
Shannon, do you remember? You probably remember because it was a few days ago. You were like, "Why do you always laugh at the intro?" And then I was like, "Today, this is what we get." I was trying really hard, and then I look at him like, "This is the best angle ever to introduce the commentator to."
Yeah, so for those that not to tout this anymore, but because we are paused, we can talk about whatever we want. When we do the podcast, this is what Cinderin looks at, that angle all day. He doesn't actually see the regular good 60 FPS cam.
I think I actually do, because I just watch you on the stream with like 3 seconds delay instead of that angle.
Oh, okay.
So yeah,
well, that explains.
No, I'm not gonna watch that angle if I can avoid it. But
all right,
viewers are screwed. Unlucky.
Cinder, this is a best of 3 upper bracket finals between VP and Viking. Well, a lot of people, when the tournament began, kind of wrote them off as being, you know, this tier 2, we've talked about this so many times, I know, but the fact that they're in the upper bracket finals now is crazy. Really cool to see. How do you like this lineup for each respective team?
I like VP more, I think, and not just by 55-45. I think it was Lacoste who said that. I think this DP last pick is incredible, this game. It just has so much going for it. It has 3 good lane matchups. It's probably going to lane against either Tide or Doom in mid, both of which it should dominate. It has the Slaughter Amp that it works with. It gives them the Roshan potential and the Radiant. And when you look at this Dire side lineup, I guess the one thing DP doesn't have in this game is a save. So if you do manage to get the Doom off on DP before she ultis, maybe you can get that kill and kind of snowball the fight from there. But big fan of what VP have brought to the table in this game. Big fan of them right now in general. I think they're the hottest team right now, as the panel covered ever so well. But with that said, Viking GG have... Sorry, what's that?
You said they're the hottest team, Cinder. Who's the coldest team right now?
Oh, I don't know. That's we don't need to hang anyone out to dry like that.
Thanks, Cinder. I knew you'd dodge another question.
Yeah, that's what I do for a living.
Oh, they're smoking. This could be a potential first blood. Shad, it's gonna take... Nah, looks like he's fine. They just tickle him. They get off the Crystal Nova, and that's about it.
Nova level 1 is not that strong. It's a 20% slow for 4.5 seconds. So one of the weaker slows in the game, but it is of course AoE and does decent damage. Now that we talked a lot of nice stuff about VP, I want to quickly say for Viking, I think The thing that their lineup does exceptionally well is that in many ways it's a very good PA game. So if they manage to itemize correctly and make Shad strong with like a Solar Crest or and a Vlad's that's likely coming out of the Tidehunter, and they will have the Overcharge, this PA can destroy in the right situations, and they have the cast to set it up. You have the catch of the Earth Spirit, you have the Doom on a key target, and you have one AoE ability in Ravage to make sure you can fight around it. So I definitely see a way to victory for them. My main concern is, are the lanes going to go well, right? It means a lot in Dota right now, and I just love what VP have in that aspect of the game.
All right, well, with that in mind, that's a perfect segue, Cinder. What a professional caster you are. Let's talk about those lanes, shall we? So top lane, we're going to have Save on the Wind Ranger. It's just never going to be a thing. Slardar, Wind Ranger versus the IOPA. Looks like a lot of harassment potentially coming the way of Shad, but do you think he's going to be able to farm to a degree that he'd be happy with?
I'm thinking that once Slardar and Wind Ranger hit level 3, this lane might become pretty difficult. You have options on Slardar. You can go 1-1-1, you could go 0-1-2, depends on the preference in the lane what you want to do. And Wind Ranger starts getting really strong with that level 3 when you get 2 in power shot. It's a 250 damage nuke. You could get the Shackle in this lane. I do favor VP in this matchup, and then in this meta, if you win your off lane, it's really good, right? Because the safe lane has the advantage of the tower, which I wouldn't say it's overlooked, but I think maybe not appreciated enough how much it matters that you're within tower range in the beginning of the game. Like having the extra armor, the extra regen, just helps so much. So if you're able to win that lane, you're very happy.
All right, let's talk about the bottom lane because I want to focus on mid in a second here. But Crystal Maiden and Void versus the Earth Spirit Tide. Do they have enough to actually kill a Tidehunter? Oh, we're gonna get pretty close here. Frostbite to start things out. And with a time walk and a couple more right clicks, it might be enough. Tobi, the right click's not enough from Illias as of yet. He's gonna pop the south to delay this even further. But the Crystal Nova on the right click. Epileptic Kid with the first blood. I think I just answered my own question.
Yeah. Earth Spirit Tide don't really have that much pressure potential in this lane because the amount of stun and silence duration that they have doesn't, unless you skill silence on level 2 on Earth Spirit, which is very unusual and most of the time in this kind of lane won't really do enough. It's hard to pressure the Void. He can always time walk off the Anchor Smash plus roll / kick, so you have to space out your abilities. Then we have what the panel talked about, that's the Maiden, which can constantly spam these 2 melee heroes when they come in close. She can just Nova them, and Void might even get Dilation to not get anchored multiple times in a row. So it's just, I don't really think there's that much pressure potential against the Void. But at the same time, the Tide should also be farming. So it's probably pretty even. And once Tide hits level 3, maybe you even have the luxury of rotating with Earth Spirit. We had another game the other day when we cast where I think it was a Timber Saw Earth Spirit lane. And it was actually VP playing that strategy with BM on the Timber. They got their Timber level 3 and the Earth Spirit was just like, all right, have a good game. I'm just gonna, go do whatever I want because you're fine. Tide could definitely get in that position here.
Well, speaking of Tide again, taking some more harassment in the bot lane as Aramis has joined back to help out Tobi in this off lane. Okay, the mid lane is the most interesting to me because it's Death Prophet versus Doom. Typically, Death Prophet is going to be fighting its melee heroes, but looking at the CS, it's pretty close. Boom has also gotten an ice armor creep, so won't have to worry about as much physical damage right now. He's going to take Spirit Sight to the face. What do you think of this matchup? It's not something we see all too often these days.
I think it's relatively heavily DP favored. Maybe I'm a little bit biased in that, and I overestimated slightly. Yeah, the Doom CS is okay, but let's remember at least one of his creep kills is a Devour in the jungle, and he has 1 deny against 8. So DP is going to get a pretty sizable experience advantage, currently up by half a level, I'm at 4. I would say I would favor DP in this lane every single time, no matter what creep Doom gets, but I think good news for him, this might be the best one he can have, is that ice armor. So at least that's something for him.
And
we'll get a bottom
the double
maybe.
damage will spawn bot rune as bot as well. GPK looking for it, but Aramis is going to take it away. See if he can use that to his advantage to potentially get a kill in the bot lane. But I mean, Boom should be losing this lane, but not losing it as much as I thought he would be for sure. Being forced out of lane for now, has pretty much no regen to speak of aside from the old Devour and whatnot.
Yep. Curious to see how his skill
yeah,
goes.
it's mostly the denies.
if he's gonna go full greed and actually max out that Devour, seeing as the lane is unfavored, so he can't really play that aggressive with Scorched Earth. Or if you look at it the other way around and you max Scorched Earth so that you can make moves in other lanes because you know your matchup's this bad. Glyph coming in from GPK mid, he keeps the creep alive to put that extra pressure, doesn't get the kill, but Boom is very low once again.
Yeah, not a whole lot he can do. I mean, one big change they made, this has been like a year now at least, Devour doesn't scale in terms of cooldown at all if you level it up.
Yeah.
But still, if you're going to be forced to jungle like you're talking about, it might be the best route to take.
The health regen is also really nice in this lane, right? If you're being dominated, you have the armor from Ice Armor, and now you get 9 HP regen constantly from this Devour. Might be able to sustain at this point. I would argue to an extent that damage has already been done in a way. DP is ahead by 200 gold against a hero that innately gets more gold than you. So he's already winning the lane. But Doom, I agree with you. He's doing better than I thought he would in this matchup. So,
like the panel was talking about how it was kind of a deny pick because it would have been a really good one for VP. How do you think this fits into Vikings lineup? As we're going to have to hold that thought because Exorcism is popped in the mid lane. Boom. Looks like he's going to initiate and buy save. This could be an easy kill, and it is for VP. And with this Exorcism, I don't think that Viking can really stay here. They're just going to get chased off. Aramis doesn't have any way to get away as of right now, so he's just going to get Spirit Siphon and brought down. So 2 easy kills for GPK, and the tier 1 tower is going to take heavy damage, if not fall. But the fortification is popped. Still, they have a siege wagon here.
This awesome rotation. I don't think you expect this one, right? It's a Wind Ranger level 4, making the rotation over, getting a shackle shot, you get that kill, you try to help with Wisp, you get an extra kill on Earth Spirit. Not only do you get these kills, you almost take the mid tier 1 tower, you force TP rotation. Actually 2 of them, I believe. Earth Spirit TPing in now, Doom TP'd after dying. So 2 TPs, almost tower, 2 kills. And in the meantime, DM is having a field day top. PA can't play this lane alone against Slargar with anything else than Stifling Dagger. You're gonna get a creep once in a while with your dagger, but you can't walk up to the CS. You're gonna get crushed, you're gonna take a bash hit, and the damage is too much. So now Io's back, and Shad will change his approach. Play more aggressively again.
Yep, the save is back as well. One nice little detail, they obviously were initiating onto the mid. They weren't really scared of Doom because he was still level 5, and it was just about hit level 6, so it was really good timing for VP. As now Boom is level 6, going to be popping that Scorched Earth in the jungle with some of these camps, so this will help catch him up to a degree. But again, this tier 1 tower is very low and actually is deniable now. We'll see if they end up taking that for VP or if the deny actually comes through.
Sympathies.
I think Aramis really wants that deny. I wonder... I'm trying to make a good reason to not deny it now. Like, you know it's going to get pressured. It's relatively easy. Your heroes might not be ready. Yeah, there's the value of having the tower right now so you can TP and maybe make a move, but if your Doom isn't interested in being there, is it even worth it?
Radiant's middle tower is under
Bottom
attack.
lane, Crystal Nova. We still have a Chrono Spirit if needed, and GPK has come as well. So with that Spirit Siphon should ensure yet another kill for GPK. He is 3-0 to start things out. And you're right, the tower's still not denied. We'll see what they have plans for here. There's no Treant Protector this time around. What if there was a creep, that healing creep that heals for like 2 health? What if you could heal towers, Syndrome? So Doom's entire purpose in life is to sit next to the tier 1 tower and heal it by 2 every second. What do you think, buddy?
Stick to Valorant, buddy.
Okay, sounds good. Watch that be in the next update, by the way. How many of my suggestions have been in this freaking game? Is the tier 1 tower is attempting to be denied, but GPK is just going to take it for himself. So they waited a little too long, Syndrome.
Yeah. Again, I just feel like this is inevitable, right? Are you trying to bait something by leaving this tower there, or are you like hoping they're going to come push it and you take a team fight with Ravage? You haven't skilled Ravage, or you didn't have it yet. You haven't skilled Doom yet either, so you didn't really have the tools to defend it. So in my opinion, just get rid of it, move on. But they leave it for GPK. He's getting really, really big on this DP, by the way. Having a great game so far. Only 1k gold lead, but it is of course against Doom, so in reality maybe a little bit more if you think about power levels, if you will, or whatnot. And a 5-0 advantage for VP. I'm looking for what's the first move for Viking, right? We haven't really seen them try to do any aggressive movement at all. And that's kind of the issue you have when you put a Doom mid in a tied offlane, right? You have these 2 melee boys that need some time. So who does your Earth Spirit really play for? I'd love to see them take some initiative with the first Doom usage sometime soon, perhaps. as they just full-on concede their top tier one as well.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Indeed.
It's
Tobi might be in some trouble. Of course, Epileptic doesn't really have a whole lot of damage to speak of because he's going for Midas. Actually just purchased, but with the Chrono into the freezing field, more than enough damage. Actually, GPK came just to steal that kill. He's like, guys, I'm on a killing streak. I need to continue this. Please, thank you.
make sure that less heroes in your team get streaks, so that if you die and lose a fight, it's only 1 streak instead of 3. Very next level.
Great. That is next level. Absolutely.
This'll come in handy.
Bounty rune time looks to be a 2 for 2. No, 3 for 1 actually. DM will get the top one
Is under attack.
on the offlane side for the Radiant. So another victory there for VP. I'm looking at Vikings lineup now and I'm like, okay, what's the move, right? You're probably not happy if this just keeps on going. Your PA is not getting farmed enough that's fine. So you might have to either try to bait, where you have a Ravage relocate play, or you need to take the initiative with Doom. I think those are the 2 options. So smoking up the Doom plus Earth Spirit could be a way of finding that move. Is that a tome coming for Earth? It is. I think that is go time. They want that level 6. They're going to rotate to bot, and they're going to try to make a dive. See if VP are ready for it.
He's not waiting for the... Okay, he's going back for the courier. And there's the level 6. So Magnetize now online. All their team fight technically available. Of course, like you said, PA not very farmed right now, so probably will not participate in any incoming fights unless he really has to. But this tier 1 tower is going to be pressured, and it looks like VP is just going to give it up.
They know
like
what's
we
happening.
Talked about, yeah, it's kind of orchestrated here. Epileptic hit with that Midas now, so he's just farming for the late game, and would likely not want to participate in fights if he doesn't have to either. You brought this up early game. Roshan is a huge deal.
Yeah.
And VP are almost guaranteed to get it, especially if they have the lead, because they just have a better lineup for it. But if Viking can somehow sneak that in at some point, but again, PA with no damage is going to be really difficult to do. But denying that, Roshan would be a big deal overall.
Yeah, if they get it as Viking here, it's because they steal it. You can't realistically commit to Roche until PA has probably at least 1 major damage item after Battle Fury, or you flat out just win a team fight. Super convincingly, like 5-0, because Doom is not a very good Roshan killer, Tide is not a very good Roshan killer, you have no medallion. The only thing you really have is an overcharged PA, which is definitely decent, but the damage just isn't there yet. Aramis top is being hounded. I don't know if they want to try to go for this. Doesn't look like it.
Looks like really juicy bait from VP's perspective, so maybe they're going to play someone a little safer. GPK still with that killing streak. Doesn't have anything equipped to show off the killing streak. That's kind of unacceptable.
They're going on Aramis. Blink Dagger reveal.
Yeah, there's the jump in. Blink Dagger reveal. DM. Being able to clean him up very easily. Double TP here. Boom. Gets off the Doom onto Slardar. So this might be a trade which is definitely in favor of Viking. They're able to get this off, and they will. Very slow. Extremely slow kill. Because I don't think 1 crit came by for PA. But they'll take it. Shad goes to farming.
It looked like VP had a pretty clear play call there. We're going to go for this play. If they TP in, we back off after. And DM couldn't get away, but they forced out the Doom. So now they feel confident going on Tobi top with the DP plus maybe. And he's dead.
Yeah.
Oh, that was a celebratory freezing field if I've ever seen one. But
Indeed. Well, he got scared because the Frostbite instantly was dispelled by Kraken Shell, but...
guess what's not dispelled by that? Spirit Siphon, which is a big reason that DP is so damn good against this hero.
Very true. Still only level 1 Exorcism, so we'll only be able to pressure this tier 2. I assume that Viking will not give this one up for free. But the Exorcism is about to end, so I doubt that we'll continue on here. But DP on top of the net worth. Epileptic hit on the Void, not too far behind with that Hand of Midas. And he also has the Iron Talon, which on the other side, unfortunately for Shad, does not have one of his own. Big discrepancy in carry potential here, Sinner, because of that Iron Talon.
Yeah, you'd probably rather have that than a Poor Man's Shield right now as the PA. Poor Man's Shield is not a bad item either by any means. Like, the 8 agility and the damage block is definitely useful. Unfortunately, against a hero like DP, it doesn't really do anything. And you would, especially in this game scenario as the carry, you just want to ramp up. And in the meta right now, it's a lot for the carries about just finding that first 1 or 2 big items. And Iron Talon is kind of just your go-to every single game on every carry if you can get it.
So when you're playing mid Doom, in Boom's case here, do you switch up your talent tree at all? Because typically I see people go for Scorched Earth movement speed and Scorched Earth damage at 10 and 15 respectively. Do you actually go for bonus gold if you're going for this more? I mean, can you even afford to do that, considering you already have a PA that's underfarming right now?
I think you only go Devour bonus gold if it feels like it's going to be a long game. Like, if you think about the trade-off, right? It sounds like a lot, 120 Devour bonus gold. And I mean, it is a lot, right? It's an extra, what's that? It's an extra 120 GPM, basically. Close to that, 100 GPM. You just get 100 GPM.
Seleri's dead.
Disappearing very quickly. So you can choose between 100 GPM, but it's at level 15 onward, which when's he gonna hit that? Maybe level 20, minute 20 something, 24, 23 at this rate? Or do you get the immediate Scorched Earth damage that could win you a fight and bring you into the game? If your team is doing well and you're on a roll, you could maybe take Devour bonus gold, but I think, like, do people not always take the Scorched Earth talent, basically? I don't know if I've seen the Devour very much.
No, yeah, that's what I was bringing it up. I mean, yeah. I think it's, the bonus gold feels like a win more item, or win more talent, where you only take it if you're already considerably ahead.
Yeah, or if you're so screwed that you feel like there's absolutely no way we fight, and the only way we come back in the game is if I get an item 3 minutes earlier in 15 minutes, right? Or something like that. I don't know. It's,
Alright, well, Boom has his 10-second BKB now, and they're going to smoke behind Shad, who has the Battle Fury. And again, doesn't really want to fight until he has that second item. But we're going to see the Exorcism pops in the pit with VP and that Corrosive Haze. If Viking does not come immediately, they're going to lose out on this Roche. They're going to get the double damage. Boom is going to take it for himself right now. But it seems that they have absolutely no idea this is going on. So free Roche, Epileptic Kid now with the Aegis. Still has not finished technically a second item. I think is he actually going BKB first? Looks like it.
Wonder why.
Kind of interesting.
If VP are just like, okay, we had a good start, we're gonna hit this mid-game timing, and we want to not be able to lose this fight. The only way Epikid dies if he's BKB'd is by getting doomed. Like, the PA is not strong enough to kill him yet at this time. And in order to go on him, she obviously has to commit Phantom Strike, which puts her in a very precarious position against multiple things. Shackle Shot, against the Slaughter Corrosive Haze, Chrono, even the DP. When DP is in range of PA, you can't just ignore that damage. It's overwhelming at this point, because your evasion doesn't work. So, yeah, it's kind of tough. I wonder if you would always go for this BKB, though? Or if the game plan's just, okay, we're gonna try to win this game minute 25, I'll get my BKB, we go high ground with Exorcism, and if they fight us, I can't die. Because you could easily argue for a second farming item, right? Just more build up.
That's true. I mean, they don't have the, I wouldn't say it's the greatest Chronosphere setup, but they do have enough to get multiple kills if placed properly. As long as the Exorcism and CM are on the outside. His DM's going to cancel this TP. Actually, Boom cancel himself, but he's going to find his way to the grave one way or the other. Although, IO, all right, well, nice
if the
save.
fountain is the grave, then you're right.
But, next patch, just wait. I got a little inside information from Ice Frog.
Relocate kills tethered.
Fountain will be a grave site in the next patch. As
Quad
he actually
Crush?
brought some company now.
Fine.
So.
What happened?
Not a clear-cut victory one way or the other, so everybody lives.
Tower is under attack.
But still, 5k net worth lead for VP, and this tier 2 tower looks to be next on their list. Exorcism's up in about 5 seconds.
Yep.
And Ravage is down for another 60. So it's going to be a bit here before they can fully fight.
Yeah, they're just going to commit into this. Use their Aegis, use their Chrono. There's a Blink Dagger on the Wind Ranger, which should likely set up for at least a one-man Shackle Shot. And by that, I mean one person to a tree, not one person to nothing. That's not really very good. But
I feel like I've been one-man Shackle Shotted before, so I wouldn't throw it out there as an impossibility. There's a mango tree here, actually. It's taken out. That was a... Can you explain to me why some pros put the mango tree not in base? Is it just that you can't find as much value from using mangoes throughout the game, so you want the vision factor, even though it was literally right next to a tier 2?
I mean, if you think about it, the further out on the map you get it, the more accessible the mangoes are while you're crossing the map. So having it in base is the safest location to get the mango value, but there's something good to be said about placing it at strategic positions, like at a high ground where the enemy team is likely to invade, then you basically have a free ward. Or at this tower, it gives you a really good chance to flank because you get to see around the tower like you had a ward there. Unfortunately for Viking, though, they're not able to fight at all. But I think it's cool to see when teams don't just plop it in base every game, because I think the item has more uses than that. It's high risk, high reward, right? Let's call it that.
Yeah.
You could just lose it, but
Fair enough, Cinderin. GPK's Exorcism's down to tier 2 tower, obviously taken out as well. So tower advantage continues to grow in favor of VP, which makes sense. It's network lead. The DM is going to pop into the eyes of IO, and this looks to be a very, very easy pickoff. I believe IO does have eyes. That's in the lore. You can look it up anytime you like.
Tide is money.
And 10-1 advantage. Viking just feeling like they just can't fight. I mean, they have the
11-1, I
Death
think.
now.
Oh, he didn't. Did he not see him? Oh, I did see him. Wait, did he? He doesn't want to use his invis on that. He wants a bigger fish, literally. Looking for Tide top.
That is a luxury you have when you're up 5k. Like, I don't want this kill. I want a different one.
Oh.
Tobi hiding in the trees. He's still working on his blink dagger, not too far away. So dying here would be a bit of a setback for sure.
All right, so tell me this. You're a master of lore, right?
No, I'm not. That was.
How can Slardar not see Tide there?
Did he not take the night vision talents
No,
in it
it's
that
just
he used
he's
to have?
so big. Like, how can you not see him? There's like a little bit of a line through the trees there.
That's not lore. That's physics. Dota is different in the.
I don't know if that's physics either, but let's say it's physics.
It's
I think
science.
physics. It's science.
It's something scientific. Oh, Shad's gonna run right into Illias. Illias just gonna stand there, that just showing his prowess as a Crystal Maiden. Not scared of the PA right now.
I'm not gonna go for it.
So is this go time for Viking? Now that Tobi has his Ravage back up, he's gonna have Blink. It's in his inventory actually, and Shad finally has that second item.
Yeah. It's probably the best timing they've had so far in the game because all of those things combine, right? Like you said, Dagger Tide, Doom has BKB, enemy team just lost Aegis. It's definitely an opportunity. Could go for it.
Dire's bottom tower is under
I think
attack.
Viking have kind of placed this game in a box where they're like, this is a one-fight game in a way, where we need one big fight, so we're gonna play the game until we feel like we have the optimal conditions for that, and we have to win that fight. So if they don't feel ready, if they're like, nope, we also want a BKB on PA, then they're gonna wait for that too. I will tell you, it probably feels weird playing Tide and Earth Spirit with 0 assists minute 22, but the fight might be brought to them. There we go.
They absolutely blow up Epileptic. It looks like VP had the advantage to start things out. They knew that where everybody was, but
Great Blink Ravage.
the blink of an eye. Viking able to get 2 kills.
Yeah.
They can follow this up with any more. Boom wants to continue on. The tier 1 tower is still in their way.
Wait,
Like they might break up here.
Oh, it was really
They'll
good.
take out this tier 1.
Radiant's middle tower has
So
fallen.
finally an opportunity
Dire's
presented
bottom
itself.
tower
There was a
is
stray
under
void
attack.
that didn't have backup, and that's just an easy Blink Ravage. Even if the other heroes are ready, again, we mentioned this about VP's lineup, they don't have any save. So if somebody gets caught by Ravage, you can't just Oracle T or whatever. There's no way of protecting that hero. You can't Blink Crush either, because then you're likely to get hit by the Ravage. Same with Blink Shackle Shot. It will probably expand to you unless you do some really funky Blink across the Ravage play.
Radiant are
It's very
scanning.
difficult. So any hero that's stranded like that can just be picked up really quickly.
Dire are scanning.
And that's a pretty big swing. That's half their lead
VP,
gone right there. One move.
That was definitely big. I want to talk about this Aegis in a second.
Oh, Aramis is dead.
But yeah, Aramis is gonna actually find his way to the grave, predicting this death, Cinderin, and I will be successful.
Good call.
There we go.
Good call.
So VP, they ended up taking the Roshan, and it felt like they kind of played it a little more passively. It felt like they put on Epileptic Kid who just purchased a BKB or was purchasing one. So he didn't change up his build at all. They didn't really look for a fight. I want to say they were just methodically taking down these lanes. Is it because of the Midas pickup from Epileptic? They just want this game to go late? They're just basically delaying and extending your lead while you have that Aegis?
They did use it to take a tier 2 tower in mid, right? Did they take any more towers than that? Oh, Shad can't afford the... Oh my god, he got out. That was so close and so important.
Seleri. He's good to go as well.
Wow, what an escape. I think maybe you could have tried to brute force the bottom tier 2 as well. Looks like they are pinging it now and want to do it. I don't remember exactly the timing with Chrono and the DP ulti being ready combined with the Aegis, but I do feel like you have a point that there might have been additional value that you could have got out of it. It's not super easy to just go and smack down the tower, though. If the enemy team is set up, the bottom tier 2 tower could have been a bit complicated, but they got the rest, right? Like, the map is still looking very good for them.
Yep. No, I'm not saying it was a mistake at all. I just found it interesting that they weren't really forcing anything, and then once the Aegis was gone, they kind of forced one there. They got a little excited with that Arcane Rune on DP, I do believe. Weren't able to really use it, though. Either way, looking at some item progressions here for VP. DM on the Slardar getting close to a BKB for himself. Epileptic Kid, MKB is next in the sights for him, as he is second in net worth behind PA, who has not only caught up, but taken the lead, Cinderin, overall in this game. And is he going for a BKB? Is that on the way right now? Oh, looks like the pit.
Yep.
Roshan is being taken out again, and I don't know if Viking can get here in time. They're making their way over, like they have an idea. Aramis
This was T-Governor's prediction. 25-minute second Roche. That's pretty much spot on. And then he said, and then they just win the game. So let's see if he's right about that part. But he called the Roche timer, right? So he is half the way.
Not bad, not bad.
Let's see if they just win the game with that. MKB on Void is probably going to be waited for here. I think you are a little bit concerned with PA's item progression. Shad should be completing the BKB in just a second here, unless it is completed and on a dead courier. Does he have a dead courier?
Yeah, that was good. Yeah, he has a dead courier.
Yeah, so he should have that and almost a
bottom tower
basher.
is under attack.
He's very rich on the PA.
Radiant structures are fortified.
Yeah, he has bounced back big time. Impel right now has the Vampire Fangs in his backpack in order to lifesteal during downtime and whatnot. But Cheese and Aegis. So Cheese on GPK. So even if he's in a bit of trouble, he can always Yules into a
Radiant's
Cheese
bottom tower is under
to
attack.
save himself if needed. Obviously has the plate mail now. So Shiva's is pretty close actually to being finished.
That's so
completely.
funny to be Yules into a cheese. Sounds like some sort of
Yeah.
magic spell where you just become cheese.
It's a new artifact card that's coming out.
Oh, wonderful.
Yules into Cheese. It's a combo. It's a dual color card. Yeah, it's really good. I made that up, by the way. I know you think I'm being serious.
Yeah, I really do.
I can tell when you don't understand the context of my joke, you know? So I just have to explain it. Like when people think that you and I fight all the time, that we hate each other. Like, yeah, we continue to work together year after year. But yeah, I fucking hate Cinder.
The money's just too good, man. Can't say no. What am I supposed to do?
Too much money to turn down. What can I say?
That's got to be it.
By the way, he did go devour bonus gold.
Yep.
So after talking about that,
Yeah.
We'll be going for that.
I think, again, like we talked about with the...
You're gonna have to hold your horses, Cinder, and Aramis is dead. Okay, you can continue.
Yeah, he died very fast.
Bonus gold.
Often how it seems to go when Slardar jumps
Scanning.
people. There's something about that hero that just kills people.
So you're saying that that hero may or may not be nerfed. Have you
It
seen
is
the patch notes ahead of time?
entirely
Cinder? Are you
possible.
leaking it?
Yes, I will leak it. The game will change.
Wow. That's,
There you go. Yeah.
Ice Frog is gonna cut you off forever now. That was private information.
In all seriousness, though, the Scorched Earth, right? It kind of fits that story that we were talking about when you would take Devour bonus gold. It really feels like a talent you only take if you're either mega ahead and feel like you don't need the Scorched Earth damage and you can just get bigger, or if you're avoiding every fight for a long time. They've got 3 kills in 30 minutes. It looks like they're going to keep going for that. They're just going to keep building up the bank and try to get bigger items for
And
later.
they're not even, I mean, the score line can be a bit deceiving because the net worth not, I mean, 4K lead is decent at this stage, but it's not insurmountable by any means. It's not
It's
huge
against
at
Doom.
all.
It's always a bit dangerous with those metrics, right? It's like saying that an Alchemist is okay because you're only 4K behind. But if you're 4K behind with Alchemist, you're mega behind, right? Because you have to be ahead.
Yep.
Doom is still 28 minutes in. He's still 2K gold behind Death Prophet. So, yeah, just in raw numbers, it doesn't look too bad. But if he didn't
thought you
have
were
the
saying
Doom
it for
ability here, it would be a 7 or 8K lead. The Doom
Radiant's
ability
top
accounts
tower
for a lot
is
of the
under
gold here.
attack.
So
Yeah,
they're
yeah,
definitely still
okay.
behind. But
Couldn't tell which way you were going with that,
Bottom
but
tower is under attack.
obviously Doom can delete pretty much anybody in the right situation. But now they're using this Aegis
Radiant's
to pull
top
through.
tower
What?
has fallen.
late on that TP, DM will chase.
That's TP. DM looking for
Fine.
Shad. Seleri does have his ultimate, is popping it now, so Shad should be safe. Away they go. Might cost Io his life, but well worth it for sure. Not only going to cost 1 life, but you save the PA, you save your tier 3 potentially in the bot lane, which is now full HP, thanks to the repair kit, and all it costs is Celeri's life. So I think, again, like this whole trend of Viking not wanting to take fights, they use it to perfection here. Of course, repair kit does help, Syndrin.
It does, and again, they're just delaying the game. It's honestly very interesting to watch this game because this is something I think is difficult in this patch in general and has been for months, is to avoid fighting in this patch. Usually it feels like you get forced to do it at some point. You have to take that inevitable fight. But Viking have managed for these 30 minutes to, with the exception of one Ravage that killed a Faceless Void, they've barely pressed a button against the enemy team for 30 minutes. They've just been pushing out waves, splitting up the map, making VP move for them, and yeah, VP get a little kill here or there, but guess what? It's 0 kills on PA, it's 1 kill on Doom. The rest of them, it's mainly supports that have died, and the Tide in the earlier stages of the game got focused a lot. So the game plan can still be executed. Oh, looks like it's go time. Doom Shiva, PA Basher, anything else? Yule's Earth Spirit. Pretty much it.
But remember, the Yule's cheese is still there, Syndrin, for VP.
This is why they're waiting for that Aegis. And now they want to find a Doom on the Void, I think. Dooming DP also good if you do it before Exorcism comes out. You can't use the cheese then.
Yeah, VP no though. I feel like this is a bit obvious.
Fortune.
Radiant
Pro players
are
do
scanning.
keep track of timings, believe it or not. Now the question is, does VP want to force a fight at any point, or are they happy with it? It feels like both teams are kind of happy with going late game.
They definitely, both teams can win this game minute 60 as well. It's not that. I think VP are very aware of the position that they're in the game, where the way back for the Dire lineup consists in finding one good moment where they wipe and get Rosh, so they've never ever really put their lineup at risk when Roshan could spawn. They know there's another 2 to 3 minutes now until the minimum spawn timer, so they could still, if they wanted to, look for a fight here. But most importantly, they just don't want to give away any freebies to
Radiant's bottom
mainly
tower
the PA.
is under
Abyssal
attack.
online, by the way.
Radiant
for Shad.
structures are fortified.
Yep. Shad
400 HCS.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
After losing
Not
their
bad.
towers really early, he is still the big breadwinner.
He's 2-0. The scorelines are
been in all their
weird this
kills.
game. 1 assist, that's literally all their kills. That's true. It's unbelievable. And the fact that we're talking about Viking could genuinely win this game, I don't feel like they're that far behind right now. But we'll see how even this game is with the first actual team fight incoming, Cinder. And one of these days, S&Y and Epileptic Kid, by the way. What do you think of that at this stage? 32-minute S&Y.
I guess he wants to turn it into Halberd plus Butterfly, I'm gonna say. So he's just getting it for the immediate value and then he's gonna disassemble it. Not sure. If he's not gonna do that, he might go Satanic S&Y as well for the status resistance against Doom, which is very common. He can disassemble his Mask of Madness to build Butterfly plus Satanic. That's probably the more likely thing. He's just stacking up that status resistance with his Titan Sliver as well. Doom is gonna last like, I don't know, 6-7 seconds on him when he has all his stuff. It's survivable, but
I know you're a real fan of status resistance, but one thing I do like about status resistance in a game like this, I'm actually a fan. I don't know if I've ever told you that. I've been too ashamed of myself to admit to you publicly that I do like status resistance. HP, that was a whole different story. Like that, I didn't like that very much. But regardless, not having to go something like Lincoln's against a Doom sounds kind of cool, man. Finally, another quasi solution, if you want to call it that, with status resist. If you can stack up on it. All for Doom. That's why I like it. Literally one hero.
I mean, sometimes you wonder the way that new concepts make it into the game. If somebody was just like, man, I hate this hero so much. How can we conceptually make that type of gameplay bad? You know?
I thought you were going to say they were on drugs, but that also makes sense, I guess.
I'm still waiting for them to find out that they actually do hate techies and that the only solution is to either remove it or rework it entirely.
All right, let's put this to bed real quick. It's been common knowledge that Icefarg has always hated techies, right? And people have been saying since Dota 1, that he will delete the... He's not being deleted, okay? It's not happening. Oh, this is a refresher shard Roche.
Heroes have been deleted before. I just want to say, not in Dota 2, but in Dota 1 we've had 3 heroes deleted, I think.
The Gambler, R.I.P. Yeah, and now the Aegis and refresher shard Aramis might have to sacrifice himself because he is late to the party. Exorcism was used.
Very early exit from GPK. I wonder if they can hit some tower with it. They have a mid-wave, but no glyph, so they can't keep it alive, but the next one's coming. And nobody's cutting it. So.
Yeah. I mean, let's see if they can get a tower now. Repair kit was on the Earth Sphere. He dropped it into the fountain. We'll see if somebody picks it up and uses it here.
Tobi already has it.
Does just that. Delay the inevitable, which is at the very least a tier 3. Meanwhile, the bottom lane,
Dire's middle
Shad and
tower is
company
under
looking
attack.
to maybe try and force
Radiant's
them out.
bottom tower is
Exorcism
under
is
attack.
ending. Repair kit continuing on, apparently. As they're going to TP onto Shad here. Still has that ultimate, and we'll probably have to use it here. Oh my god, this is going to be close, though. Alright, never mind. It's an IO. I forgot, guys. And that means it's a split up fight here for
good
VP.
chrono, though.
You're on to 2. Looks like PA is just going to get beat down by Epileptic Kid. There's the bash, but it's not going to be enough. The Abyssal Blade to counter it. Now, Epileptic in a bit of trouble. He has the Aegis intact still. On the other side, the Ravage still online for Tobi, as Crystal Main is going to pop that ult, basically zoning at this stage. Nobody has died some way, somehow. Bottom lane, in the meantime, Shad is still here, going after DM. Right clicks are not going to be enough, as Save does take him out with the help of the rest of his team. So after all of that, they finally get PA, and that's it so far.
Yeah, Doom was expended though, so that's another half kill, you could say. Such a huge part of Viking strategy is having that Doom, and it's just not available, so GPK gonna go in again. Exo
Allows GPK to pop the Exorcism again, so this should be a rack if they don't buy back onto PA, but based on how they've been playing this game overall, and Ravage still online, I think they just give this up
Dire's middle
and probably try to defend this. I don't know if they can let 2 racks down at this stage.
I don't think
No
they have a
buyback.
choice. I mean, they could buy back the PA and try this fight, but there's still Aegis as well, and Cheese.
Tobi jumps in, still has the Ravage. There's the buyback. They think he doesn't have it. That's going to be the Aegis just like that. And now DM's going to drop to the grave as well. So if they can get this Void, this would be pretty freaking big. The Abyssal Blaze online. That's an easy kill once he's locked down like that. So a 2-for-1 if you want to count the PA and all this. Like, oh my, Shad! Whew. From full to 0. CM is donezo. GPK, BKB TPs. A little bit messy from VP, but they do get what they came for, which is that mid-racks.
Yeah, the really big thing there is that Slardar gets ravaged, and if it's only the Void's Aegis, he's happy to expend that to get ravaged, but losing the Slardar basically is the nail in the coffin for that fight, and then a perfect roll. Really, really good timing from Aramis to connect the roll immediately on the Aegis. He might even get GPK here. He has Cheese. And he has me on this. Buyback.
Step of his base, and it does pop save with that ult now. Buyback onto Crystal Maiden. Tobi, remember? Ooh, the right clicks again, more than enough to pick him out. As DP looks to be next on the list, Viking.gg somehow behind by 5k the entire game and basically not fighting the entirety of the game. That kind of turned this game a bit.
They were behind 13k. They were behind 13k 1 minute ago.
Really?
They gained 10k gold in 1 minute, yeah.
Goodness
2 buybacks. It was Maiden and Windranger, but they got some big core kills. They got the Void, Slardar, and DP, all 3 of them taken out there with that chase. Just awesome plays from Aramis, really. The perfect roll in the base, so Void couldn't BKB and try to TP out, or BKB time walk, and then he gets this additional catch with this long roll chase against the Death Prophet. Catches her outside the base, and they connect.
Radiant
And suddenly, that's all it took. It was that one overextension in the Dire base. And it's such a hard call for VP to make that is going to turn out bad. Like you said, they didn't expect the buyback perhaps because it had been that long.
Yeah, they waited a
Viking
long
just
time.
communicated and played very, very well. Patience.
Yeah, really well played from Viking. And now we're getting close to the level 25 mark for a few of these heroes. And by a few, I mean literally one. It's just Shad all alone. Level 24 now. Do you have a preference this game? He's going for a nullifier, by the way. Very strong item on a PA.
Yeah, counters out the DP Andisk. Counters out Windranger's Windrun, since he does not have an MKB on the PA. Pretty solid, I think. Covers against potential
nullifier.
Ghost Scepters. Illias places the Alps, but it's too late. There was a potential catch there against Aramis, but he goes away.
Tier 4 item checkup, Cinder. My favorite discussion, well, second favorite behind tier 5s that we rarely
thought you
get.
were gonna say
Havoc
NBA.
Hammer. Let's talk about the Phoenix Suns today. So Boom has the Havoc Hammer, one of my personal favorite items. Shad is going to continue on with the Orb of Destruction, which is the tier 3 item. Tidehunter has an illusion escape.
Yeah.
I suppose, if nothing else.
Bats are also decent, but yeah.
Yeah, that is true. And a Timeless Relic on Earth Spirit for now, along with Magic Lamp on Seleri.
Could consider, I mean, I guess you could make a case for putting the Timeless Relic on Doom, right? And then you could give Havoc Hammer to Tide. But I think the good thing about having our Earth Spirit is that he has way more reliable spells to use multiple times during the fight, so the debuff duration on that is more likely to give you some sort of value.
All right, and then the other side, we want to compare neutral items here, Cinderin. Windrunner has the Timeless Relic, Epileptic Kid, Minotaur Horn. Slaughter has an Illusion Escape, so another kind of weird one to have it on. Yeah. And then DP, the big one, I think, Spell Prism. Whew. Maybe not a better tier 4 item for that hero.
It is really, really good for sure.
Radiant are scanning.
Guess in some situations you'd rather have a horn, but yeah, Spell Prism is pretty crazy.
You do have a horn, Cinder. You could just swap it if you'd like.
Yep. But I mean, it's about the type of situations that happen, right? Like, there's moments where the horn is better, but most of the time this is better. This is what I was getting at. Whereas for Void, it's the other way around, right? Most of the time, the horn is better.
There's the smoke.
This could be scary.
Shad has the Nullifier online. It's going to jump in. The Ravage is there. Not going to use the Nullifier on the Illias as of yet, because he's going to be an easy kill one way or the other. But there's a Chronosphere onto 3 heroes with Winter on the backside, dealing so much damage to PA. The buyback onto the Tidehunter. There's the Doom finally used. The Boom is going to cost him his life immediately. Save in the meantime. Looks like VP wins this fight handily. PA is now dead. No buyback to speak of. And again, Tide did buy back Tobi, but he's already used Ravage.
Yeah. They know there's no buyback on PA. They forced it in the top fight previously, so they know this is a 4-on-4 without the strong enemy hero that kills them and without a Doom.
They are going for Throne. A nice silence on the 2 heroes. Epileptic Kid jumps in with that time dilation as well. Windrunner trying to deal as much damage to these tier 4s as possible. Still 90 seconds on the deck. Viking need to hold on. They will continue to. Of course, this is just game 1 of this best of 3. As VP are already being forced back, so they don't even get a second Rax right now if they end up getting pushed out here. Cheese is finally popped onto GPK. He's extremely slow. Still has the BKB in tow. Actually holding onto the Aeon Disc in his backpack to prevent the Nullifier, but of course, PA is dead. But still, they still have 60 seconds despite being pushed back here. So just resetting a bit. Exorcism up in about 36 seconds. So they'll be forced into getting a second rack instead of going for Throne. Which for Viking is a huge win.
Yeah, Aramis did spend all his spells and a lot of his stones to pressure the Windranger and Slaughter out of base, so he doesn't have as much in the tank right now, and therefore he's going to yield. They will get the second lane of racks. Point out what led to this whole thing. Epi Kid was so fast to reacting, so when the smokes break, he instantly time walks away from the Blink Doom, so he already has in his mind that this is what is about to happen. He's planned out this fight entirely. I'm going to be in range to get Blink Doomed, but I will immediately pop out. First, I think he Minotaur Horned the Ravage, and then he time walked the Doom. And then he BKB'd and got a big chrono when they had the Exorcism running. He got a chrono, and I think it was IOPA +1. Just really outstanding individual play from him in that fight. Just gave VP a big win. And Aramis' spellcasting on defense on the other side basically probably kept them in the game. So, good stuff.
The 4th Roshan will be up in 20 seconds. We're going to have an Ags, Refresher Shard, Cheese, and Aegis. And this is a fight Viking 100% have to contest.
Yeah, they can't
not see a way for them to win this if they don't get this.
All spells are online.
There's a smoke from Viking, or from VP, I should say. Aramis is in a lot of trouble here, potentially, but they're expecting more around. Oh my god! Oh my god, Roshan! Are you serious? Who gets the Ags? This is going to be the Faceless Void indeed. So now you have the Time Lock combination, if you want to call it that. And just like that, whew, that might be it.
That might be the world's 2nd fastest Roshan. Actually, it's not, but it's up there. The fastest, of course, being Miracle with 50 Spark Wraiths insecting it. But this is definitely top 5 percentile Roshan kills right there.
Can you still do that with Arc Warden, or they changed them?
I think you can.
That was with an Arcane rune, right?
Yeah, I think so. I think he had Arcane Rune at one point as well.
So disgusting.
You can, right? Did it get changed?
Oh, pretty sure you can. All right, well, Refresher Shard now in the backpack of DP, so they're going to have 2 Exorcism along with the double item usage, of course. Epileptic Kid has the Aegis. No surprise there. It's going for a Divine Rapier next. And like we said, did equip the Ags for himself. Was that the correct choice? Let's look at the options we have here, Cinder. The best subject in the world. CM's Ags, meh. Windrunner is, I mean, it's good if good Ags, but this game not needed, of course. DP, at this stage, not a big deal to have an Ags. I think that's more of an earlier game, in my opinion.
Slaughters could have been pretty good.
Yeah, Slaughters is very good, but I think for this game, the time walk thing is good.
Yeah, and now he has complete True Strike. He actually has 175% chance to hit right now, so he will hit every time. With both
it's like
the
when
Rapier
athletes say,
and
I'm going to give 110% effort today, as if that's a thing.
Yeah.
All right, GPK pops that Exorcism. Here's the Chronosphere. It's only onto 1, but it is a very important hero in Doom. And he goes down before even being able to expend his ultimate. And this looks like the beginning and end of Viking in game number 1. BKB Papa Epileptic Kid still has the Aegis in tow. The buyback onto the Earth Spirit, but looks like this is going to be mega creeps, if not more. Tobi still has the Ravage. Not really finding an opportunity to use it there. It's going to get Silence to start things out. And Divine Rapier, like you said, on Epilepticus. So these buildings will absolutely melt. And now he has the 20% backtrack as well. So not really fearing anything on top of all that status. Here, 4 towers are down. There's the Ravage onto several heroes. But do they have enough damage to follow this up? And then we got CM who buys back into the game. But PA just melts under the pressure. Not even remotely close. As the right click will favor VP big time in game number 1. A really cool game from Viking. I'm not going to lie. I was really impressed the way they did it because they got off to a bad start. But the way that they played this was really cool. Just not able to pull it out this time.
Yeah, I think they managed to keep the game within reach, but eventually, like, what do you think the track record is?
Virtus Pro's turn. Radiant team ban. Virtus Pro's turn to pick. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Radiant team pick.
Faceless Void.
Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Virtus Pro's turn to pick. Radiant team pick. Virtus.
Behold the Horn of Madness. Sven stands ready.
Goody. Goody, Pookie. Goody.
Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Radiant team ban. Virtus Pro's turn to ban. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Radiant team ban. Virtus Pro's turn to ban. Ten seconds. Radiant team ban. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Radiant team pick.
Good kitty.
Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Virtus Pro's turn to pick.
Vereska has arrived.
Radiant team pick.
Crystal Maiden.
Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Virtus Pro's turn to pick.
Tide Hunter.
Ай-яй-яй-яй-яй, что сейчас произошло?
Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Virtus Pro's turn to bat. 10 seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Radiant team ban. Virtus Pro's turn to ban. Ten seconds Radiant remaining. Team ban. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Virtus Pro's turn to pick. 10 seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Radiant team pick.
Elder Titan.
Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. You may now select your heroes. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining.
Thank you, Zyori, Cinderin. Why are you? I just literally said your name.
It wasn't you. I was laughing at Zyori this time.
Zyori, can you please just... We're trying very difficult, like very hard right now to not make Cinderin laugh at the beginning. I have a theory that it actually doesn't matter what is said. You will start laughing like a maniacal idiot at the beginning of every game.
That's just not true. You can go back through the history of my casting, and that's just not true.
I will believe it when I see it, buddy. So we have a pause at the beginning of this game again. You laughed again. Jesus, what is wrong with you?
You got me.
You're just... Viking versus Virtus Pro Cinderman, game number 2 of this best of 3. VP took game 1 in pretty convincing fashion. Do you see this changing, or will this actually be a 2 as the panel have predicted?
I like Viking's chances better than in game 1. I'm still siding with VP as well because I think they're just that bit better, at least based on the games we've seen, including that last game. There's a lot of reason to believe VP will clean sweep here, but I do think overall in terms of the laning this time, I think Viking should have a better time. I think the Snapfire matchup is better for Doom than the DP one is. This time they don't have a PA against Slaughter, but they have a Sven against what is probably going to be a Magnus, right? So like their side lane should be off to a better start, flat out, and then we'll see how that leads into the mid game. Oh, double strong hammer.
Hammer onto 2 already. Gush to follow. This is gonna be a big team fight to start the game out. As Shad is taking the brunt of the damage, and GPK with the first blood. I believe that's 2 games in a row now that he has started things out that way. And Sven being the first to fall is not good if you're a Viking fan.
Okay, Shannon, let me tell you a secret about level 1 fights.
30 seconds to battle.
Rule number 1: don't go on the ET. He hits really hard. Unless you have the spell combo to actually just blast him right away. He throws the spirit. I think he got the spirit on 3 or 4 heroes, and he started hitting for about 200 damage there, or 150 I think it was. 150 damage, 8 armor, and he's a strength hero. So yeah, he was the one walking up, and it was for good reason, because there's only one stun and not that much spell burst, so he figured he could live. Info, he gets the kill. And VP are off to a good start. They get 3 bounty runes. They get some intel about laning. They know it's Io Sven bottom, in case there was any doubt about that. And they're going to make their ways to their respective lanes. Epikid already top, and it will be GPK mid and DM bottom as expected. Yeah, I think compared to last game, I wonder if Viking are going to try to play faster this time. Sven obviously needs an item or 2, similar to PA, but last game they were dodging for a good 30 minutes. I think this time they're more willing to get involved. Because Doom will have a better time, and the enemy team will be cooldown reliant in a different way, I think, than last game.
Well, yeah, let's talk about that mid lane. So last time around, obviously, it was Doom versus DP. Not a great matchup. Now it's versus Snapfire. This feels like it would be a better lane for Doom. Am I correct in assuming such things?
I think it will. I don't know if I've seen this lane played before. It's definitely not the first time it has happened in Pro Dota. It's probably been happening a few times, but I have not seen any of the games in which it did, if there have been some. But like, just theoretically, right? DP destroys melee heroes because she has that constant harassment, and Snapfire in a way can do the same thing with Scatterblast, but I just don't know if her damage is overwhelming enough when Doom gets level 3. He gets that 2 in Devour, the 5 health regen, gets a Bracer. I think he'll be just fine. It's not the same category, but we'll see. Ready to learn here?
I love learning with you, Cinder. We should make a PBS special about that one of these days. I'm sure it'll be...
PBS, peanut butter sandwich, right?
Yep, that's right. I forgot that you're not American. Sorry.
Yeah. It was the best thing I could come up with from an American. If it fits with food, it's like, you love talking about food, so it's probably that. We should make a peanut butter sandwich. I was like, yeah, that sounds like something you would say during a cast.
You can't pigeonhole me into talking about... I like talking about everything. Not like you, which only likes talking about Dota, Syndrome. You're a one-man pony show. You see?
PBS, point-based system, like in basketball.
There you go.
Yep.
You got it.
All right. Second try.
Just keep telling you're correct until you're actually correct.
Shut up.
Or that. That's probably more preferable, actually. Bramble already used the time walk, so we'll be forced to TP out. Takes some damage, but does TP to the tier 1, so he'll be back in action right away.
Of course, is ensuring that there's a free pull here for Crystal Maiden by playing up that aggressively in the lane. They've pushed all the way to the tower, and he knows that by staying there and keeping 2 heroes, their Maiden will get to make this pull. Trying to for the chain, but did not get that on the trolls, so... And here come Aramis and Tobi to try to clean up and get the rest of the creep wave. But, well, so far so good for VP, right? The 3 lanes are off to a good start. There's, of course, a little bit of inflation from the 3 bounty runes in the first blood. But Snapfire definitely doing very well in this matchup, just like DP was. Pretty much the same scoreline in the mid lane in CS. Doom eating the Centaur here. I was wondering if he was going to eat the small Centaur, actually. Just for that extra magic resistance against the Snapfire, but chose to get the Stomp Creep. Not really sure if he's ever going to find a play with this in that lane, though, but he has it for later.
It's always good to have that in your back pocket, because God knows when you need it, they never show up in the jungle. So just get it while you can.
Very true.
Can't get greedy.
I do think he'll possibly replace it for an ice armor, though, if he finds that.
Well, the ice armor, as we saw last game, very good. Allowed him to not lose the lane as horribly as he probably should have, as Illias forcing Aramis out of the top lane for now. And in terms of the regen, very low on regen overall, so BP pressuring them out for the time being. As Epileptic Kid, I mean, look at the CS, 18 and 4 versus the Sven, 20 and 4, so relatively even overall. Of course, I mean, do we even need to talk about Sven? I think most people that have been watching Dota, unless you've been living under a rock, knows exactly how Sven games will go. So I'll just try not to mention the hero until it's absolutely necessary. Until he's flying in the air, he will not be mentioned for this entire game.
All right, so in 12 minutes.
That's right. Very soon we'll talk about it.
Okay. Fair.
He will be going Midas. I've already broken my rule because it's just, you know, I always like to see the different itemizations that we come to see here. What do you think of Hannah Midas this game for the old Sven?
I'm not
Big
I'm not
greedy?
knowledgeable. Yeah, I'm not knowledgeable enough on this to know when it's better than Midas, or sorry, than Mask of Madness. Though I'm not fully sold that this is better than Mom in this game, because I think, like, if you're looking to go jungle anyway and you're looking for, like, isn't Mask of Madness just kind of a better Midas for this hero most of the time? You get a way faster way of farming ancients reliably. You get the active attack speed that's way stronger than the Midas, and the items cost about the same. So it's about the levels, right? That's the primary difference. You're probably not getting more gold out of your Midas. I don't know. Not sure.
Well, he could change his mind here. I thought you were actually opening up with a joke, because you were making it seem like you didn't have a big enough sample size to understand what items are good on Sven. But you ended up saving yourself. Like, Jesus,
Man,
how much more do you need?
Haven't seen much Sven in this patch. Gotta need to wait and see where he goes. All right, so he went phase boots. So this could be the reason. I'm still not sure, and it might just be player preference. I believe most Svens I've seen recently go Mask of Madness. So that's something we would have to ask Shad if they were to win this. I think it would be a pretty interesting question, honestly, because, you know, sometimes a lot of players like to just autopilot their item builds, but even the smallest things down to your starting items actually show a lot about how people think about the game.
Tobi top lane. Oh, he ends up going down to Ilias's Crystal Nova.
I feel like I've seen this
Top lane
before.
dominance continues.
Maiden Void killing Tide.
Are fortified.
Yeah, they didn't shy away from the Tide. They didn't shy away from picking the Doom mid again.
Oh my god, this ET is hitting so damn hard bottom.
Seleri, he will live though.
Yeah.
Master
Ooh.
Spirit not up for another 5 seconds.
They do bully them out of lane though. This is a Magnus off lane. Because of this ET being this powerful, they can actually force them out of lane. And Sven I don't really want a jungle level 4. You would like to wait a little bit longer on that Sven. He will come back, of course, he's taking a small camp, but has to be careful with save being this powerful.
So being pressured out of both top and bottom. So mid lane is the most even, I guess, in that regard.
Yeah. GPK got first blood on the first fight though, so
That's true.
that doesn't
Yeah,
help.
if we look at the net worth, obviously a 400 net worth lead from GPK's perspective over the Doom, but I mean Doom will catch up in all likelihood because of that Devour ability. It's actually just bouncing left and right between abilities, Cinder. He actually ate the Wolf Creep, took the crit, and now he's taking the Mud Golem.
I don't know if he meant to take the golem. I don't know if that's
Well,
worth
maybe
it.
he's expecting to die because it feels really good when you're dead and you turn into the Mud Golem and you have 2 more.
Yeah, that feels amazing. It just makes you want to die all the time. That's
exactly.
really good.
Yeah, it might have been a misclick, but we'll see what
I think he didn't realize he had Devour toggled, but not
Radiant
sure.
are scanning.
Of items, I find something interesting here in the Snapfire's build. This is extremely mana intensive build. He went for Bottle and Soul Ring with Crystal Maiden Aura in the team, so really spamming those spells out. It's not uncommon for snaps to go very mana intensive, because you know that's how you farm. You need to spam Scatter Blast as much as possible, but you could have imagined maybe you could have bypassed Bottle or Soul Ring when you have Maiden Aura, but he's just all in on this, really maximizing that farm. All right, he threw the boulder mid. There it was.
The CP, they're going to start it out with the cookie into the... was going to Chronosphere. There it is. And with the Mortimer Skits, it's going to be more than enough to take out Doom. So a very good rotation there from Epileptic Kid to set that up. And it just feels like, I mean, they're not really leading in terms of net worth by that much right now. I mean, they don't really have like an exorcism type, like death prophet that will push the tower, at least pressure to that degree at least, right? So that's one good thing from Vikings perspective, but it just feels like every lane is at the very least slightly losing right now.
I just want to say that is a textbook play of what I love to see a carry Void doing. That move is you're level 6.
What?
You're doing well in your lane and you're farming, but can you do something better? Like, can you do a higher impact play? And he goes mid, gets that chrono, and now he's back to top. So it was a little bit of a detour. He lost some CS overall, but that kill is well worth it. Instead of just sitting on this cooldown top that you can't use into the Tide, find a way of using your big spell so that you can, quote unquote, earn your farm, right? No, he made space for his team. Go farm some creeps for 2 minutes. And they found Sven bottom as well with a big rotation there. So GPK took advantage of that rotation mid to then go bottom and kill Sven. Just really, really good stuff from GPK.
Indeed. Well, Bramble into the Cursed Crown. GPK being chased now. Shad has the Stormhammer available along with the God Strength. This is going to be the first team fight of the game. But the Doom applied to GPK will ensure that he will die one way or the other. Finally goes down. So Viking on the board officially, Cinder. It took a lot of effort, it feels like.
They want to take control of these 10-minute runes as well with this. They did use the Doom, as smoke's going to break from Illias here. So yeah, Doom,
Stormhammer is
Boom on the Doom with the good counterplay there to bottom lane.
Dire's middle tower is
Ancient
under
stack
attack.
is a nice steal here.
Oh, that's a bonus. I'm not sure if this is what they came for, but maybe. I mean, they know they're playing against Mag, so this camp is likely stacked, but I think they also just wanted the area for the 10-minute runes.
Yeah, Echo's fun to start things out. Aramis is there with pressure from Doom. They're going to be able to take out the Elder Titan in all likelihood, but Snapfire all from afar. The Skewer going to save him for a bit, but Sven ends up going down again, so the second death in not very much time at all, and now the bounty runes have spawned. Io, they save one team, maybe Aramis not going to be so lucky.
Radiant's middle
So
tower is
VP
under
coming
attack.
back with a vengeance.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Not sure, how did the bounty runes go this time around? Looks like Viking did end up getting them.
Yeah, Viking got that one rune. There's still one bottom and one top, so Viking technically could get all four, but this bottom rune will definitely not be there. So maybe 3 for 1. It might look really bad, but they stole that fat ancient stack, or at least most of it, and Tide was not involved. So you got like 2 or 3 free waves top, and he's pushing the T1 tower. So overall, I think if you're Viking, that's all right. You also forced out the Snapfire ulti, of course, to get those kills in return. But Chrono is available.
That might be in trouble again, Cinderman.
Oh no.
He spots them. There's
Gets
TP
cornered.
support. Dark Ool
Nice
coming.
movement.
Oh, Epilepsy Kid misses the Chronosphere onto the Sven, but it's not really going to matter. It zones him out in the corner regardless, and down he goes. Tobi's here, but there's a nice RP onto 2 heroes. Into the Skewer to follow. Aramis extremely low. That's 2 deaths in the blink of an eye in VP's favor, and they're not stopping yet. Seleri attached to Tobi right now. Cookie onto both. And this is a complete disaster. Ravage is used now. And this looks to be a 4 for nothing for VP. Ay. And on top of that, GPK will have his Ags extremely soon. This is one of the fastest
Dire's middle
Snapfire
tower
Ags I've
is
seen.
under attack.
Yeah, he's looking at 12 minutes. 13 minutes probably he's going to have it.
Radiant's bottom
That
tower
is pretty
under
terrifying.
attack.
He has some really good friends to use it with. You can toss in the Mag and he can skewer back, so you give him a free dagger. You can toss in the Void for a Chrono. You can toss in the ET, especially if he already has his Astral Spirit returned to himself. You just toss in this
Radiant's bottom
bomb.
tower
It's
is under attack.
It was a really good snap game. They're going to try to get save here with Boom as well as Seleri, but the slow
Radiant's
from
bottom
Illias
tower
should be enough. Oh, they're going to counterplay.
Oh, Snapfire. Oh, this is going to be enough to take out Seleri. Doesn't look like it. Another 2 seconds and he's going back to base, but Boom is
Dire's
left
courier
to his
has
own
been
devices. A very sad day for Boom on Doom. And he's just going to get completely stranded. Actually uses the Doom onto GPK. Question mark?
Yeah, that is...
What? Why?
That is really ungood.
Thank you for that perfect analysis. Ungood. Quote it
Dire's
now.
top
Cinder in
tower is under
2020.
attack.
Ungood.
Dire's
That's tier 1 tower
structures
top
are
wolf. Also,
fortified.
Viking does get something out of this space, I guess you could call it, but that is not the hero you want. Like, typically it'd be a position 5, you'd be okay with that, right? But that's a mid-Doom.
Dire's
He uses
top
his long
tower has fallen.
cooldown ultimates.
Yeah, so you're gonna have this overlap now where VP have all their spells again and you don't have Doom, and there's a Snapfire Ags. We're talking about that, we're painting this picture that VP are absolutely destroying them, and they're up 12-2. The gold lead isn't that big, but again, there's the Doom factor, so keep that in mind with your gold graph. And it's also just the timing of the
Dire's
game,
top
right?
tower
VP's
is
lineup is
under
really
attack.
coming together with the Snap Ags, so their effective net worth is just crazy right now. This 4K gold is insane for the next 5 to 10 minutes minimum.
Dire's middle tower is under
so-
attack.
Oh boy,
Gotta be
that's
really
right
careful
past the illusion.
if they find
really good play
save.
from VP.
Shad, yeah,
Shad
Shad is-
gonna be spotted, and there's the gobble up, and instant death with a shotgun in the back of the face. VP
Radiant's
are
middle
running
tower
away with
is
this
under
game, it
attack.
feels like. This tier 1 tower is now going to be
Radiant
pressured.
structures are fortified.
And we'll see if this Sven Midas ends up paying off in the long run, Cinder. He is 0-5 right now. He's going for Echo Saber. And on the other side, Epileptic Kid did not opt for anything related to a Midas as the Mask of Madness.
Radiant's middle
Which makes
tower
sense because
is
you do have
Radiant's
Empower.
middle
I mean, you
tower
can
has
farm
fallen.
really fast on a Void in a game like this.
Yep. And power is one hell of a drug.
Dire's structures are fortified.
Just keep
Boom
it
is
rolling.
getting close to BKB for himself.
Oh, they're thinking about
Dire's
something
top
mid.
tower is under attack.
It's a Radiant scan, but you can see GPK. Save is actually just move clicked on GPK. He's AFK. It's like, send me a text when you use gobble up.
Oh boy.
Oh,
Boom,
they split
bottom
up a little
lane. I hear an
Are they
IO
okay?
coming in, so they do have to be a little bit careful from VP's perspective. It's Io by himself, so this is just for a save on Boom. As Epileptic Kid does get off the Chronosphere, so this looks to be, it should be a save pretty easy.
Ice armor.
And away they go. RP used as well.
What?
So 2 big cooldowns for VP are down.
I mean, that works on the way out, not on the way back.
Yes.
Thank
you, Senator.
That was okay.
Dire's top tower is
Interesting.
under attack.
It was something.
It was something.
And we're seeing a lot of quote-unquote interesting plays thus far. I mean, like you talking about, the net worth is technically an advantage of Vikings.
Oh, Doom mid.
Back and forth.
Oh my god, so filthy.
Elder Titan. They have so many setups for this.
Snapbacks is so dirty, man. It's like, it's actually just crazy. It's absolutely crazy.
So you toss in Elder Titan, he gets off an Echo Stomp, and you get
attack.
basically a free at least 3 or 4 Mortimer Kisses on top of.
Yeah, I mean, you don't only toss him in, you toss in the aura, right? It's a guaranteed natural order on the target every time. You just know that that guy is going to lose all armor and magic resist when you throw them in.
Yeah.
Pretty crazy. Crazy combination.
14-2, and it's even net worth wise. This really does feel like an Alchemist game, doesn't it? Doom obviously not on the same level in terms of farming, but it's just crazy to see. Illias is going to use it. It's going to get canceled with both the Curse Crown and the Terrorized. Seleri coming in. There's the big Tobi ult. Ravage onto 3. Do they have the damage to follow this up? The Doom is going to be applied to save, along with the Gush to fall. They're just going to continue on, but there, DM jumps in with the Skewer. A little bit of damage here to be able to finish off the Elder Titan, who's back into the game immediately. Epileptic Kid time walks most of that damage off the Cookie to follow. Now this will probably turn in VP's favor if they're not careful. Shad still in his ultimate form. This will be a dieback on the save, but here's the Mortimer's Kiss. It's doing massive damage. Looks like Tobi will be the sacrificial lamb, if nothing else. Doom forced to pop his BKB as the fight continues. VP getting cleaved down by Shad, but he doesn't have enough damage to actually take anybody out. So despite this buyback onto the Elder Titan, not able to find any more kills to follow this up with. Now VP, it's a 2-for-1 with the buyback. Neither really has that much physical damage, and there's the gobble up onto 2. Elder Titan also follow, and this game is just getting out of hand in favor of VP.
Dude, Dota's sound design is so good. What can I say? Like, the sound for Gobble Up flying, it's just hilarious. I don't know. That was the highlight of that fight for me. That's what I want to analyze on. Awesome. Thanks, sound design.
Great job, Valve. You did a great job on sound design.
That was, I mean, honestly, a really tooth and nail fight. That could have gone either way. Viking were really, really close to breaking that fight way open, but I think ultimately the biggest problem here is Sven doesn't have the freedom to move yet. He needs that one extra item. He needs the eggs or the BKB, and these fights look so different. Because yeah, you do land these spells, but eventually your hero gets kited. There's a lot of problems. There's the ET Stomp, there's the Maiden Slow, there's Skewer, Snapfire Cookie, and they even took advantage of Gobble Up on the doomed target to at least get something out of their doomed hero. They're like, you're doomed anyway, I'm just going to throw you in, and then he died and bought back. So you have these issues that you're eventually going to solve with just 1 or 2 more items. So I definitely don't want to count Viking out of this yet, based on that fight. There was no chrono as well, though. That's worth keeping in mind. There was no chrono for that fight.
Long-range bomb onto Seleri. Tasty delight. 4-19. We're 1 kill away from your dream, Cinderin. I know you're a big 420 guy. You're a big fan.
Dire are scanning.
Big
okay.
Time. You love
Never smoked anything in my life, but I do love me some rap music.
You. How did this make that turn all of a sudden? You and I are probably the most boring people in terms of anything related to that subject.
in terms of life.
Yes, life experience. We're very, very inexperienced. We're little tiny babies. As GPK did gobble up a teammate, but didn't choose to use. I mean, I think some changes that need to probably be made to gobble up include the cooldown quite low. It's 40 seconds without the arcane rune, but I don't know. I don't think they're going to change the range. Maybe the stun duration is too much.
I think there's 2 things I would like to see. One is the travel time. I think the guy you throw flies too fast. That's the first thing. And the other thing, I would like it to have a global sound, or like a local sound. You know how Monkey King, when he jumps out of Primal Spring, you can always hear it, that it's coming? I think Gobble Up should work the same way. Because
Do you think there's a reason that it needs to have a stun? Honestly, like I feel like there's.
Yeah, you could even
bottom
take this.
tower
Yeah,
is under
it's probably too
attack.
weak if it doesn't have a stun.
Dire's
Really?
top tower is under
It's a
attack.
4200
Like, look
gold
at this
item.
lineup.
I mean,
look
yeah.
at this lineup.
Sure, I can see it. I think maybe that's a little bit too much. Maybe you give it more damage then, if it doesn't have the stun. Like, you can tweak it in that way.
Yeah,
Something like that, sure.
Oh. Boom is gonna get gobbled up again. Here's the Elder Titan, but there's the BKB to activate for Doom, and they're just gonna back up now as a result. And IO saves him in BKB form. So Viking just having to play super passive, but it's definitely not working out right now.
They were not ready to counterplay that. That was a really good BKB. He had a Doom possibility on the Void, but they didn't have heroes near. Oh, that's just a bonus on Aramis. Tried to get the bounty rune. Did he get it? He did not. Yeah, he got the rune. Okay, I mean, that's fine. He got the rune, got RP. It's actually not that bad. If they can defend
Everything's
Roche...
fine as everything dies around you, and Roshan is one of those things, Synderen.
Yeah, the question is if they can defend this.
Dire's structures are
I don't...
fortified.
I guess not. It's kind of like last
Dire's
game.
up in 10
VP
seconds.
controlling that once again.
Yeah, they don't really have the greatest Roche team, but they're
Dire's
quite far
bottom
ahead.
tower is under attack.
Especially with these pickoffs. I mean, you're right, they could technically fight. They have literally every ultimate they really need to be able to contest something like that, but either way, VP will take it. And Aegis now on Epileptic Kid.
Dire's
So that
bottom
was
tower is under attack.
That was the 9-second BKB for Doom. So now already at the 8-second mark for
Keep your
that.
eyes on top. I don't know if they want to Doom this, to be honest, because he has the Aegis, but... Oh, Aramis. Good cancel on the TP.
TP. Yeah, forces the BKB, and that should be... That's the win you're looking for Viking to start this snowball.
It's something. Here comes the bomb.
Oh, I heard it.
Dude, imagine you're walking through the streets of New York, and suddenly Elder Titan just drops in your face, and that you hear that sound before.
Why New York?
I don't know,
That
I
was
just-
that was oddly specific,
Radiant's
like, to
middle
the point where
tower is
I'm
under
worried
attack.
for you. That was really weird.
Okay. Imagine you're walking through the streets of somewhere.
All right, you're right. It's
Imagine you're walking
worse when there's
outside
no
in
detail.
general right now.
It has nothing to do with New York then. Okay, just wanted to make sure.
It's like when sometimes adding a location to your story just makes it a little, like, it just sounds better, you know what I mean?
I mean, you could have picked literally anywhere.
I know.
I'm just surprised you picked New York. You could have said Copenhagen, you know?
You could,
Why not?
Dire's top tower
but then you
is
would have
under
asked,
attack.
where's that?
I hate you so much. Just because I'm an ignorant American, Synderen. Doesn't mean you need to make fun of me all the time. Shad has his BKB, by the way. Looks like he's going for Blink as the
Instant RP.
On to Doom, into the Elder Titan, but
Radiant's middle
Tobi's able to get off his
tower is
Ravage, but the
under
Chronosphere to counter it right away. Looks like Doom is going to be the first to fall. Did not get off his ultimate at all, which means Viking have to run away. Shad attempting to get out as Epileptic Kid will moonwalk in front, like right behind him, just taunting him as he chases. But there's the ultimate from Shad into the Stormhammer. Nearly time walk most of this off. Still has the Aegis, of course. And there was an attempted skewer, but the BKB quickly for Shad. Very nicely done. Maybe a little too cocky coming from Epileptic Kid, but the Aegis was all that he has expended right now. Time walking the time dilation. Into the cookie. Looks like it will be a kill onto Aramis with that sentry being placed.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
So VP, I would say technically are very, like the panel we're talking about, very disciplined. It feels like they're playing around a bit right now. I don't know if that's just me that feels that way.
I think games have a tendency to look like that when you have Snapfire with Godlord, right? Because the game just does get wild. Like, things just start flying around everywhere and you're like, what's happening? But that
In New
kind of
York.
is the way to play it. A lot of the time. In my mind, VP are playing just very, very... I don't know if disciplined is the right word, just structured, right? It makes a lot of sense how they're moving their heroes, how they're casting their spells, the way they choose to prioritize targets. And, like, they got the Roche, right? For example, by RPing the Willow on the top rune, it was very clear, because we're in this area and we can get these kills, this is worth doing. Like, the payoff is very big. And in this last fight, we saw they dropped a lot on Doom to force out his BKB, and then the moment Viking try to take the counter fight because they get their spells off, there's a chrono instantly onto the BKB Doom, and his fight just gets negated. So, like, it's just playing super solidly around each other. It's awesome to watch this team right now. This is all I can say. Like, they're just playing super good Dota every game I see. There's very rarely slipping up.
Yeah, and we've talked about Vikings so much over the past few weeks and how impressed we are with them. And even though they technically are looking a bit lackluster this series, it feels more like it's VP just outclassing everybody so far in this tournament.
Yeah.
They're just playing so well.
They're really, really good.
RP available, Tobi. Skewer into the majority of VP. Tobi does not have his Ravage for another 10 seconds. The Chronosphere is going to be used to take him out, along with the BKB.
Why did BK
actually
beat that? I mean, if you chrono the tide there, are you scared of... What are you scared of, exactly?
Radiant's middle tower is
If there's a
under
Terrorize,
attack.
you're going to hear it. If there's a Sven Stormhammer, you're going to see it. So maybe a little bit unnecessary in that situation, but playing it safe. I mean, end of the day, it's probably not the biggest deal. He wants to have Chrono and BKB at the same time anyway, so BKB will cool down, but it's -1 second.
So can you talk a little bit of... I know I wouldn't bring up Shad and his build very much, but I'm interested because he had a Blink Dagger Q, changed his mind, he's going for
bottom
Abyssal
tower
now.
is under attack.
Like, what's the reason not to go for Ag this game? He had that queued for a bit as well, but then changed his mind.
Yeah, I guess if you look at what you're flying into, it's pretty dangerous territory. You're flying into... The panel mentioned this as well, right? You're flying into Chrono RP and an ET Aura, so... There's just a lot of threats when you reposition yourself like that. So maybe he decided like the risks don't.
A nice double
Terrorize combo.
Tobi has the Ravage, not going to even need it. Bedlam doing massive damage with that Curse Crown in addition.
Nicely done.
And Viking
And
gets
look at the
2
towers.
easy kills. Tier 1 tower.
Good stuff. Yeah, and they didn't even use anything big for that. That was just Aramis. That was all that Bramble plus Terrorize combo. They still have all their spells. They have Doom. They have Sven ulti BKB.
Dire's
This is
middle tower is under attack.
probably just flat out 2 towers lost. You don't have Chrono, so you can't really contest them here. And Viking with a big comeback move there, taking advantage of the cooldown of Chrono primarily.
Oh, the buyback into the gobble up. Looks like Seleri's going to be the one to fall. Ravage is only on 1 hero, essentially. Make it 2 with the Magnus in tow as well. And that's 3 dead, including the dieback onto the Magnus. So VP getting crushed. Void is left in the midst of this as well. So the last remaining member is GPK. Only a buyback from Viking onto Io was used.
That was
Good lord.
That was a bit wild. Mag didn't get RP off. He got Stormhammered and died. They toss in the Void to his BKB, and he does get the IO. Like you said, buybacks available, so you get the real K play. And with RP not come up, like, you have to acknowledge how much damage you're lacking by not having your Elder Titan. He's such a huge part of your lineup. Just as I praise VP for almost nothing mistakes, that was reckless. That was actually flat out just crazy trying to defend that tower. 3-5. Sure, you buy back your mag, so it's like... I don't know. I just don't think you take that fight without Chrono. You don't have
What a
solutions for this one. Yeah, that was massive. Look, oh my god. Maybe don't look at the win expectancy graph.
My hotkey never works for us, so I literally can't check it anyway.
All right,
So
well, it
please
went
tell
from,
me.
I want to say, what was the old number? Almost like 86% or something for the Dire to 40 in 2 minutes. So that
So they
is...
still have a chance.
They
is what you're saying.
basically more than lost their entire lead, which, you know, is pretty much what happened. Let's see if Sven's build changes. It does not. He's still going Abyssal, but or at least the Basher. He's queuing up Daedalus, so maybe he'll change.
So this game just flipped on its head instantly, and I think the next power spike for VP is this level 20 GPK Snapfire. He has the BKB Ags along with the Blink Dagger for extra mobility, but we'll be going for Daedalus next. But that level 20 is when you unlock the little shredder, uses your attack damage, and that's when he starts to feel like a true core. DM.
Good dead Willow.
We're gonna be able to find this easy one. All right, the animation of that when it's like super short range is pretty awful, actually.
Dire's top
It
tower
looks
is
comical
under attack.
at the very least.
You were talking about physics earlier. Makes sense.
Yeah, that is physics. That's true. Man, the fact that you can use Ags just to farm as well is kind of crazy. Just push these lanes.
Yeah, it is really, really good. Does it kill a full wave? It's close, right? It does, right?
It does
400
damage over
impact damage,
time.
100 burn damage.
Yeah.
For, yeah, it kills a full wave.
All right, so with that influx of gold going the way of Viking, Shad, obviously, I think he had the Skull Basher for that fight. We'll be going for finishing the Abyssal Blade this time around, so a pseudo blink of sorts. And
Yep.
Daedalus is queued up for afterwards if we get to that point. Epileptic Kid in the meantime, his counterpartner, Aramis, is queued up for Daedalus. And Daedalus is queued up for afterwards if we get to that point. Epileptic Kid in the meantime, his counterpartner, Aramis, is queued up for afterwards if we get to that point. Epileptic Kid in the meantime, his counterpartner, Aramis, is queued up for Daedalus. And Daedalus is queued up for afterwards if we get to that point. Epileptic Kid in the meantime, his counterpartner, Aramis, is queued up for Daedalus. And Daedalus is queued up for afterwards if we get to that point. Epileptic Kid in the meantime, his counterpartner, Aramis, is queued up for Daedalus. And Daedalus is queued up for afterwards if we get to that point. Epileptic Kid in the meantime, his counterpartner, Aramis, is queued up for Daedalus. And Daedalus is queued up for afterwards if we get to that point. Epileptic Kid in the meantime, on this Faceless Void has the MKB, basically going the same build that we saw last time around, I believe, with the SNY.
SNY again. Against Doom. Same logic. He's going to go SNY Satanic against the Doom. This time around, they have a pseudo save in the Snapfire Blink plus Gobble Up, so they can try to get people out of trouble against Doom. But you're playing that into Ravage, which you have a BKB for, so it's more reliable. Oh, Yule mid.
Yeah, the pressure is applied. RP is used on the BKB Doom. Shad, looks like the constellation prize is going to be this Magnus, and if you're VP, you're kind of okay with that. He's taken out. Could have been a lot worse because they know that the God Strength has been used and Roshan is not quite up right now. Another 45 seconds, a little bit bad luck, but there's the initiation onto Faceless Void. Epileptic Kid gets doomed. They do have Gobble Up, and GPK with that BKB ensures that at least the Void will live. It'll cost him his own life, but well worth. And like I said, with this God Strength, what else can they get with this? Because Roshan's not up for another 30 seconds. You do have buyback onto the Snapfire. Tier 2s are still available for top and even the tier 1 bottom, actually.
Yep.
A little surprising.
Just grabbing the 4 bounty runes and waiting for your Doom cooldown is probably great, and getting the top outpost so you have more map control. Makes you wonder if you could have waited a little bit longer on that Gobble Up, because you get yourself really way out of position there. He's probably scared of a potential of getting caught by a Stormhammer or Ravage out of Fog, but if he waits longer and lets Void run first, you might actually be able to just flat out save you both. By chilling, let Void run a bit further, then you BKB Gobble Up, and you could toss him out and maybe blink away, or you could... Because he used his blink to get in, that was the problem. He blinked into Gobble Up, and then he obviously can't get out again.
Well, that, you pretty much have to, right? The range on Gobble Up is excruciating. It's basically melee.
It's bad,
range.
but the Void also wasn't going to instantly die there, right? He has 2.4k health, 20 armor, and the status resistance we talked about before, so... It's easy for us to say with our vision. The idea of saving him is definitely...
You're the one saying it, not me.
Yeah, stop saying it.
You're the one backseating, not me. Yeah. Just want to be clear. Roshan,
stop telling me how to
beat
cast.
Down by Epileptic.
I don't like backseat casting.
Gonna backseat cast you anytime. It's already at half health. Remember, the Elder Titan is kind of the...
And no Doom for 25.
Big hero here. And they know that the ultimate is down. Illias gonna find Aramis and start things out. And there's DM. Oh, they actually do not synergize this very well. A little bit of miscommunication as Roshan's getting quite low, but they do get the Dark Willow, who buys back into the game. Chronosphere still available. Boom, taking most of the damage. There's the RP used on BKB Doom again and taken out in quick succession. No buyback for him, so back to the pit we go for Epileptic Kid. Tobi already popped his rat. Arrive. Can they get the Aegis? Who's gonna get it? GPK gets the kill. And the Aegis to be more on Epileptic Kid. And there's a huge Chronosphere onto one hero. Just huge, I say, but the other Titan also follows, dealing a lot of damage as a result. Remember, the Aegis is still on for Void, so you can watch the safety if you really want to. He's gonna go right click. Sven is dead. Everybody is dying left, right, and center for Viking. And this game has turned around again. This time for VP, Cinderin. Jesus.
That was so... Yeah, that looked like a scary start for VP, exactly like you said. The Void time walked over the pit, and then they skewered the guy into the pit, but the Snapfire ult still made quick work of Aramis as Willow has to buy back and reconnect to the fight, but it's such a long run. He has to TP to tier 2, has to run all the way to the fight, and when he arrives, there's already... The kitchen's already burning, and he couldn't really put out the fires. There's too much going on, too many problems to solve. The Chrono from just honestly really nice awareness from VP to not take the Aegis on Snapfire there. That was a high intensity and panic moment, right? You're out of the pit, the Rosh is on like 1% HP, Snap kills the Rosh, doesn't take it, Void time walks in, takes it, and then Chronos the Sven, and then they get this beautiful 3-man Gobble Up into Snapfire Cookie and just clean house. That was really, really well done from VP. And again, Viking playing a good fight. Like, their stall casting I thought was really nice there. They just were lacking a couple of pieces. They didn't have Doom. That was the main story of that fight.
Yeah, and that's kind of, I mean, I guess both I have this issue with these long, really long cooldowns, but the difference is even if you use RP, I feel like you can still fight, right? You have so much initiation possibilities with like literally every combination you can think of. Yeah, for the most part.
Their team fight's insane, as long as they start in a simple way, right? That's the problem that ET Mag plus Void lineups have sometimes, is that they all want to get this big ulti, right? So who goes first? But if you either start with Blink Skewer or especially with the Gobble Up, you force the enemy team to react, and once they react, that's when the grouping up happens. And that's when you get those wild combos off. So I actually really love the Snapfire to complement this type of lineup. I think it's very, very good.
Epileptic Kid farming the jungle, still has the Aegis, so not sure if Viking even wants to go on him right now. But DM in pretty good position. That link in with the Shiva's pop by Boom, so showing off that combination. His VKB is already down to 5 seconds, by the way. That's something to keep note of, along with Epileptic Kid. So these BKBs have been used quite liberally. I mean, there've been a lot more fighting this time around versus last game, for sure. I mean, but we still have the same issue where looking at the kill discrepancy is enormous. Mid lane racks in favor of Viking, but they're still down in net worth. Absurd. So weird.
Yeah. I mean, in reality, this whole mid lane thing is the biggest mistake we've seen from VP all series, though. It was flat out just overconfidence trying to defend the mid tier 2 tower. So if they don't make a massive blunder, we're not in this spot. But they reset very well. Such a terrible mistake can really tilt some teams, and they can just throw the game away. But they found their composure again, took some good fights, made a super good call going for that Roche just off the cooldown on Doom. They felt confident they could do it, and they were right. Now they could be the next to take Elena Barracks, unless Viking can somehow force them bottom. Looks like it will happen from the Void so far, following the IO.
Yeah, I was hoping for a potential Chronosphere target, but it is not to be. So again, 3k net worth lead for VP. They still have the Aegis, still have the cheese, and I mean, I'm interested in Shad's progression now. So is able to finish the Daedalus, but will not have buyback, and I assume he will wait for that buyback.
I don't know what you should do.
Again, Boom goes for the bonus gold talent again on the Doombringer.
Yep.
Maybe that's just something he does every game regardless. Like, some of it could be personal preference as well, right?
I mean, it is kind of about maybe about how much, like we've said it like 3 times, but the flow of the game, right? If you hit level 15 late, the Scorched Earth damage, unless you imagine it makes a big difference in the fight, just kind of falls off against a lot of things like BKBs or heroes having lifesteal. It becomes largely insignificant in a lot of situations. Whereas the Devour bonus gold will always matter in longer games. Maybe that's just how I think.
Well, here's another interesting progression. GPK, who originally had, I believe it was a Daedalus lined up, or queued up, I should say, ends up going for Lincoln Sphere instead. So, not wanting to get doomed, obviously. Still went for the little Shredder attack damage talent.
Yep.
I assume standard damage will follow. Actually going for Boots of Travel next. Huh. Okay. So the Tier 4 items will start to drop now, Cinderman. The most exciting part of the game is when the items drop from the jungle. Ooh, Witless Shaco. Excellent item. One of my personal favorites for my supports.
I love it playing support on a lot of heroes. I wonder if they could give it to this game. Just put it on the IO. Does he have enough mana with that?
Yeah, with mech costing 225 mana as well.
I don't know if he can support it. They gave it to Doom. Yeah, he has enough with the Shiva. He can do it. If he didn't have a Shiva, he couldn't actually carry this item. Then he would have, like, I don't know, he could not even use his spells once each, but now he can. It's alright.
Roshan, or the Aegis I should say, is now gone, of course. Still have the cheese to work with, as the VP are just kind of resetting here. Another Witless Shaco for each respective side now. Flicker, one of my personal favorites. Gives ridiculous amounts of move speed. It gets you killed, unfortunately, but it is a nice dispel.
Not much to dispel here, though.
Unseen.
It's going to be on Sven.
Oh wait, it dropped for the Radiant. Okay, because like if you're the Dire and you get Flicker here, you
both teams.
Okay, what can you dispel? You can't dispel Brambles because you can't break Root first.
Gush
and then dispel.
slow. Boom.
True. You can dispel Gush. And for the other side, you can dispel Crystal Nova.
You can also dispel Tether slow, Cinderin.
Oh yeah.
Very important.
We've seen that play a big role in this game. IO has definitely been playing very aggressively.
Hey, I'm just being technically correct just to annoy you, okay?
Yep. Doing a good job of that.
Tower is under attack.
Thank you.
On the daily.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Who do you give that to? I don't know if you keep it on the Snap. Snap wants the Timeless Relic, so maybe it's really good on ET. I think Meg wants to keep his Craggy Coat because he's kind of playing as the frontliner for their strategy, really soaking up a lot of that damage. Nope, they will give... Okay, they'll give the Relic over to Titan and then the Spell Prism on Snap. I actually like that more. That's really good too. Very, very nice.
So 32-second Gobble up now. 88-second ult. Good, clean stuff.
Yep.
And Epileptic Kid is looking super stacked. So now has the Butterfly Satanic SNY
He's decked
MKB.
out.
So now...
Never forget the Empower.
Now you go for... he goes for the backtrack again. On top of that Empower will likely just be looking for an Ags to eat, I would assume. Or maybe you turn SNY into something else, I don't know.
Could go for Moonshard too, if you wanted to.
Come on, Ags has got to be better than Moonshard. Same cost too, essentially. I'm trying to think of what, like, your Ags would have to be complete dog to get that over a Moonshard. Moonshard is just a Hyperstone, right?
Yeah, that's true. I mean, on Void you definitely get Ags, so you're right. That is for sure the better choice. Arcane.
Can you say that again?
I think you should go Ags.
No, say you're right.
Nobody had suggested that, so I'm going to suggest it. It's a good idea.
All right. Thanks, Cinder. Great analysis. Boom.
Yep.
Showing off this Ninja Gear. This is one of my favorites, actually. I love this item. Giving you a personal little smoke. It has the
You've
best
mentioned
name in
3 items so far being one of your favorites.
I just love items. Is that so wrong, Cinderin? Huh?
Maybe you should farm more
then. Look at the name.
If you love items.
When you use Ninja Gear, it's called Solitary Disguise. That's got to be one of the coolest names in the entire game.
Solitary Disguise.
Yeah. It's great.
That's when you hide to play cards.
All right,
You'll get it someday.
I wish I could use a cricket sound right now to show you my feelings for that joke.
Did you actually get it?
No, I didn't get it.
No.
Just shut up and watch the game, okay? Just pay attention to the game. Epileptic Kid is level 26. Looks like Shad is 25 now as well, so he ends up going to God Strength Damage talent. Very nicely done. And I do believe those are the only 25s in the game right now. My goodness, Cinderin, if this game goes to level 25 for Snapfire, and he gets 1 damage item, this little Shredder multi-shot, I don't know if you've seen it, it's so
nasty.
Broken.
It is nasty.
So broken.
Snap's talents are amazing. Level 20 and 25 talents are incredible. All of them. Also, if you're playing support, the other talents are great.
All right. Well, yeah. Seleri has been brought to the other, or Aramis, I should say, brought to the other side of the map.
Oh, that's something you can flicker off. The time dilation. That was actually nice, but he died anyway.
Oh, yeah.
But that is definitely a flicker value. It's that spell.
Yeah. Time dilation.
Unfortunately, you usually just get insta-killed by Void, but if you do manage to flicker it off, that can be nice.
This is going to be the 3rd Roche in 30 seconds, right? If I'm not mistaken. There hasn't been a Refresher Shard, I don't think so.
Yes.
This will be a Refresher Shard or Ags. If you're VP, probably hoping for that Ag. Well, never mind. You have really good Refresher Shard targets as well. It really doesn't matter. For both respective sides, in fact. So they're just posturing themselves in order to take this without a potential contest, but Boom and company will... We've said, it feels like this is a common thing this series. They have to contest this, I think. Yeah, it's very important. The Refresher Shard.
They do have to contest this. Doom Smoke for the Ninja Gear. See if they can find an angle. They do have the vision, of course, from that Tide Illusion. No longer. VP are going to back off and smoke. Try to make the wraparound. It's being drawn on the map.
Yeah, Tobi on the high ground looking to block that. The Chrono Spirit misses on everybody, and the Ravage onto 4. Doom is going to get the beautiful hoof stomp into the Doom as well, and that is DM's demise at the very least, and the cleave comes through. Oh my god, the damage to follow from VP. Good lord, Sven dies in his ult form, so buying back won't be nearly as effective, because there's the gobble up onto the Epileptic Kid. They're going to be able to kill another hero for Viking, so that is 5 buybacks onto Viking. And remember, every ultimate is basically down, the important ones at least.
Don't you just love when you miss all your spells and you just kill them anyway?
Yeah, what the balls was that?
Well, to be fair, they only really missed the Chrono. They still have RP, it was unused, and the Earth Splitter plus ET Aura were nasty in that fight, and they will get the rush.
Yeah.
Oh.
No contest this time around. Like,
Here comes Flying Void.
Yeah, gobble up. That is pretty rough stuff. Boom. Gonna be safe for now. Do they have any vision is the question. He must be in the trees.
Guess the wrong side. Nice juke. He has a blink dagger.
No,
Didn't blink yet.
20 seconds though.
I'll scan.
Yo, he didn't blink.
Oh, GPK finds him. Boom is dead.
Oh, he's killed the range creep as well, just for style points.
Yeah. Well, I was gonna say, Synderen, I don't know if you agree with me that if, like, Sven ulted and obviously got a kill. I'm not saying he shouldn't have ulted, but in
Dire's
theory,
middle
if he
tower
hadn't
is under
ulted and then
attack.
died and bought back, they
Radiant's top
probably could have
tower is
contested
under
Roche. But the
attack.
fact that his ult was on cooldown, that he just doesn't do anything. It feels like.
Yeah. And essentially that means you threw a lot of buybacks at nothing. That
Radiant's top
is
tower
Yeah.
is
really
falling.
expensive, because I think your heroes would have been alive by now without all the buyouts, but it is so easy to say from our
Radiant's
perspective
top
that they don't do
barracks
that.
are
In the heat of the
under
moment, you want to throw everything at defending this rush. We just
Radiant's
can't.
top barracks
When you
has
lose
fallen.
that first fight, no Ravage, no Doom, no God Strength.
Radiant's
It's just
top
not happening.
barracks has fallen.
VP, they're going to keep getting the next tower.
If they can get this lane, it will equalize the mid lane, believe it or not.
Oh, they're looking for
They now
GPK
have a-
mid. Creative play here.
Okay.
BKB.
Yeah.
That's one way.
Oh, not able to get to the high ground, so without the Snapfire, it looks like VP has to backtail away here.
Really like that from Viking. That was super good. That is actually the best possible way for them to defend their mid lane, is to kill the snap pushing out that wave. Nicely done.
All right, so in terms of building, Synderen, or at least racks specifically, it's an even game. Unfortunately for Viking fans out there, VP is at a severe advantage in terms of net worth. And we are at the 9k net, or 9k extra gold on Epileptic Kid. So I would assume this Ags, or maybe Moon Shard comes, it will be the Ags.
Yeah.
He can just buy that right now if he wants.
Yep, he's going to buy the upgraded axe. He has not enough gold for buyback, so he's actually going to wait. I think. Well,
Dire's
this
courier
wave should do
has
it,
been killed.
pretty much.
No,
Yep.
Courier killed Aramis. Will it cost him his life? The answer to that is yes. He's dead. He has died for a Courier. That is how he
No
saved
buyback.
his life.
Doesn't it?
And Snapfire could spawn Soul Ring and have travels, so this could be a flat-out 5-on-4 for 50 seconds in the enemy base. That's actually a pretty big death. I think VP are going to go for the win here off of that. They have 2 Chronos,
potentially.
Aegis. Do they still have the cheese? They do not seem to have a cheese. So they have Aegis and Refresher and a man advantage. Straight down.
And not to mention, Snapfire has
Radiant's
hit
middle
25
tower
and
is falling.
finished the Daedalus, so we're going to see this little Shredder beat the
Radiant's
crap out of
middle
some
barracks
people,
are
no
under
doubt about it.
attack.
So this is going to be a mid-rack that's completely
Dire's
uncontested
top
here.
tower is under attack.
You can see Shad just taking out the tier 2 in the top
Radiant's
lane,
middle barracks
which
has
indicates to
fallen.
VP that they won't find any resistance here, but they obviously will need to
Radiant's
defend
middle
this
barracks has fallen.
mega creep potential in the bottom lane. I would assume that is a yes, but we'll see. Tobi with the Blink Ravage available, literally everything is
Radiant
online now.
structures are fortified.
That the man advantage is for VP. Fortifications pop. Oh, Shad is actually going into the
Dire's
enemy
middle
base.
tower
So he's going to pop that
is
ult into the tier 4s, just trying to force out TPs. He does just that. This will buy them a little bit of time, but the question is, can Epileptic Kid and company get any value out of this? They're going to find Seleri at the very least. Is that enough is the question. Bottom lane in the meantime, Heisner is dead. We missed the Snapfire just beating the crap out of people with this little Shredder. Just ridiculous damage. It's going to be back online in 2 seconds again. But Viking able to get at least a couple kills, but it's at a heavy, heavy cost.
Yeah, there's still man advantage for VP and they have their spells, so sure, you recover that gem as Radiant, or rather you steal it away from the ET, but there's no buyback on Tide, no buyback on IO. You have Chrono, you have Snapfire ulti, you have Gobble up ready again.
Radiant's bottom
It seems
tower
almost
is under
impossible to
attack.
defend.
You still have a gem on DM as well.
Radiant's bottom
Divine
got a new one.
Rapier is on Sven right now.
Oh,
There.
that's
Radiant's bottom
GPK
barracks are
deletes
under
a hero.
attack.
That tends to happen with the 25 Snapfire for sure. As Sven is in the top lane without a TP, Synderen. He is in the top lane without a TP.
Radiant's bottom barracks.
He has no teleportation.
This reminds me of what my carries do in pubs when they give up. They're just like, whatever.
Radiant's bottom
Going to the sideline until the game ends.
I guess that's how this game. Oh my, that is actually ridiculous. Snapfire for the win.
Sven is going for the he's going for the throne.
Structures
Base
are
race.
fortified.
Yeah,
Can he do it? He almost has a tower down to half.
Victory.
Good attempt, my friend. I mean, it's not like he would have made much of a difference in base anyway. If they had some buybacks, but like you said, they've already expended them. So 2-0 victory for VP in pretty convincing fashion. They had a little